So in the last couple of days, we've had some outlandish claims about Avengers Doomsday, which could make this movie be insanely good, but also insanely bad. So I thought I'd talk about them. So yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around here, subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel DC Casual monster-verse pop culture-based content that I try to deliver on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on and let me know. Do you believe what we're about to talk about? Are you hyped for this movie? Let me know everything down below. Check us out on Instagram at Warstu. Check us out on TikTok, Warstu. Right, let's get into it. So, Iron Man 3 director believes Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom will single-handedly reinvigorate the genre. So, Shane Black has shared his take on Robert Downey Jr.'s role of Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday, arguing the Oscar award winner will likely save the comic book genre. It's worth saying supporting actor, not for best actor. So, what he's had to say is being misconstrued a lot, I think, because people aren't reading the full context of what he said. I think he's going to single-handedly reinvigorate the comic book movie industry with that, the director stated. I mean, it seemed like at first a cynical idea. You know? Oh, let's just go back to the well of the one guy that seemed to always save us. But it's going to work. It's really going to work. So he's clearly been told some stuff, but this next bit really solidifies something. And he's brought to it. I'm not at liberty to say anything. Not that I know. You clearly do know something. I'm thrilled because I'm first in line to see that Black continued. I haven't seen all the Marvel movies. I'll see that one first. So you've been told some stuff, probably by Robert Downey Jr. And now all of a sudden you're talking about Robert Downey Jr. like he's a goat. So the most recent rumors going around state that Tony Stark was actually a variant of Doom. And there realistically isn't any connection there. But there is. But it's more on the prerequisite that Doom isn't a variant of Stark. Stark is a variant of Doctor Doom. So whatever he's been told, it's clearly magic. But was he told something? Has he seen a bunch of scenes? Has he seen a Doctor Doom scene? It's interesting because it's clearly not going to be because of the Doctor Doom voice. He's been told something. Then this article goes on to say, if Marvel Studios and Rumours brothers plan to remain faithful to the comics, then Downey won't remove his mask as Doom. Even when he becomes God Doom in Secret Wars, his face remains horribly scarred. That's going to make the marketing campaign very interesting. Well, he already took his mask off at the end of the Fantastic Four movie, didn't he? The post-credit scene to Franklin Richards. So we already know that. So what he knows is interesting because he clearly admits he's not seen many Marvel movies. And he's a director of Iron Man 3, so he's also going to be biased. And it does kind of feel like a bit of a chill kind of article. But it's interesting. Interesting. He's seen something and he's going to reinvent the superhero genre. It's going to work. Interesting. Now, we all know this is not going to be as simple as it being an Iron Man variant. Apparently, Tony Stark is the variant of Doom. But then at the other end of the spectrum, we have information coming out like this. They kept saying that the script was finished, and yes, they had a finished script, but the ending had not been figured out, and they were rewriting scenes on the set, John Roker explained. Even now, after wrapping Doomsday, they're not really finished. They're still shooting a lot more. My sources say in 2026, moving before Secret Wars in the summer. Now, what is interesting is because they are shooting at Secret Wars next year, they could be shooting Doomsday alongside Secret Wars at the same time, so people wouldn't actually know which movie they were shooting. So John Roker is the person that made the viral story go everywhere that two people got into an argument and people assumed that it was Ryan Reynolds and RDJ. Now, I don't know how credible John Roker is, to be honest. I mean, the only information I could find out that he got right was about the Punisher and Hulk appearing in Spider-Man Brand New Day, but that's not really a massive exclusive, if you ask me. It's an interesting story, but it's not exactly a huge exclusive. Now, the internet always has information, and it's interesting how everyone seems to know the whole story of why the Russos said Robert Downey Jr. is the only person who can play Doctor Doom. That is interesting. That's pretty much what everyone knows, but no one's actually come out and said why. Like we say, the most recent information is stating that Tony Stark was a variant of Doom, and that will be explored massively throughout this movie. And why does Doom have some kind of vendetta against the multiverse, but really the people that are causing the incursion? Very fascinating. So allegedly there is no ending of a movie, but I don't understand. It's not I don't understand, it's more this does not make sense because they've got Secret Wars coming. They know exactly where they're going with Secret Wars. So I am trying to talk better when I talk about scoopers, but I still think this is nonsense. They have no ending. They've wrapped. They're going to reshoot stuff. We know how Marvel plays the game. We know what Marvel does. But this article here is interesting because it made it seem like the news of Sadie Sink's character potentially being the villain of Brand New Day has things to do with the ending of Doomsday, which that is not the case at all. So the contrast from a movie director, Shane Black, saying, yo, Robert Downey Jr. is going to change the game. He's going to bring the superhero genre back from the dead. But then you got some random scoopers, John Roker, saying, yeah, there's no ending. Like, they've got an ending, but it's not finished, and they don't know what they're going to do. And they're going to shoot some more scenes next year before they start shooting Secret Wars. Well, everyone, this is being reported anyway. But this whole fact there still isn't a finished ending, but the ending had not been figured out yet. So what? Are they going to start screen testing a fake ending? Because this doesn't make sense to me, because they can't lock in the VFX, the CGI, the special effects until the ending's locked. Why? Because then we're in this scenario where they had no time to change and actually perfect the special effects at the end of Ant-Man 3, at the end of Multiverse, so many times. So the ending needs to be locked so they can actually do real VFX on it. So this whole, there is no ending, but we know we've got to somehow get to a place where every universe explodes and Doctor Doom somehow makes a new universe called Battle World Secret Wars. So it's interesting covering this stuff because it's a kind of case where we played a telephone poll game, or he said, she said storylines. But for a movie director who's worked with Robert Downey Jr. before to come out and say, yep, I've seen some stuff. Well, he's not even saying it. I know some stuff and it's going to change the game forever. What does he mean? We don't know. I still really hope that Cillian Murphy is the real Doctor Doom. Nothing against RDJ. I think he's a cool actor. I think it's interesting. But if this whole, he looks like one character being Tony Stark and there's no real reason, then is this a Deadpool and Wolverine scenario where it's nostalgia bait and they just want to bring the likes of Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Elizabeth Olsen, so on and so forth, just to make sure Avengers 5 and 6 will bang? Because we know that Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers 5 and Avengers 6 will do very well, but it's what happens after these movies where Marvel needs to worry. And if the secret movie coming out in 2027 is Doctor Strange 3, that will most likely do well, but they've got to start shooting that early next year for real. So I'm trying to do things very different on this channel. I am listening to negative feedback and positive feedback. So criticism down below. Let me know, what is Shane Black on about when he says Doom is going to change the game, Downey's going to change the game? Then you got Mr. John Roker making out there is no ending. They had an ending, but the ending hadn't been figured out properly, and they rewrote scenes whilst they were shooting. Even now, after wrapping, Doomsday hasn't really finished. But we know this. This is not real new information. But to say the ending still isn't finalized is a little bit weird, because in order to meet the mandate for Christmas 2027, they do need to crack on with Secret Wars quite early on next year. So they're probably going to be shooting Doomsday and Secret Wars at the same time. I find this stuff interesting because some people would take this and go, oh, Avengers Doomsday is doomed because there is no script. There is no script. And you have people saying that when Alan Cummins came out recently, said, yo, I did finally see a script. People said he's lying. He's not. They're not going to show a random the whole Avengers Doomsday script from start to finish unless they need to know the whole storyline. That is never the case in any movie. Why would a random actor who's probably only going to be in it for a little bit of the movie, why would he know how it's going to end? It makes no sense. There was always a script. It was just being worked on with improv. This is standard. It happened for Deadpool and Wolverine. It's happened to other movies. But because this is going to be the highest production budget ever, they can't miss with this movie. So like always, guys, let us know down below. What do you think? And check us out on TikTok, Warstu, Twitter, WarstuG. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.